Hello everyone, I am Prof.A.S.Mhetras from Department of Statistics, RBNB College, Srirampur. Today I am going to teach you the statistical graphs, means the graphs used to present the data. So before that, we will study relative frequency. So relative frequency it is needed when we want to compare the two frequency distributions and the total frequency may not be same. In that case, relative frequency is to be used. So it gives the proportion or in percentage of frequencies. So its formula is class frequency divided by total frequency. So suppose the mark of students are given in this range, and the frequencies are given . So the total of frequency is 100. Then we can obtain relative frequencies by dividing each frequency to the number 100, and then we will get the percentage or proportion of frequencies, which is called as relative frequency. So this will be 0.05, 0.16. These are the relative frequency. I am going to divide each frequency by 100. Or we can call it as 5%, 16%, 7%, etc. So here the total of frequency was 100. That's why I have divided each frequency by 100. There are some guidelines to choose the number of classes. According to Stokes' rule, the classes should be 1 plus 3.22 into log n. Suppose there are capital N is the total frequency, and we want to divide these total numbers into number of classes. Then according to Stokes' rule, the number of classes should be 1 plus 3.322 into log n. So this is the formula given by Stokes' rule. Then the second is, according to thumb rule, the total number of classes should be capital N. Means suppose there are 100 observations in our sample, then there should be root 100, means 10 number of classes should be there, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, etc. Then the third guideline for the classes is the classes should not include open-end classes. And fourth, so open-end classes should not be there. Then the next guideline is all classes should be of equal width. Means the classes may be 0 to 10, 10 to 20, etc. If the class width is different, then we have to take frequency density instead of frequency, which we will study. So the next guideline to choose the number of classes is the classes should be multiple of 5 means 0 to 5, or the classes may be 10 to 20. So these are preferably taken classes. For the simplicity, the classes should be of multiple of 5. And finally, the lower limit of class, it is preferably taken as multiple of 5, means this lower limit, if it is a multiple of 5, then it will be easy for the further calculations and further analysis. So let's see some graphical representation for the statistical data. The first is histogram. Histogram is very popular graph in the representation of statistical data. So it looks like this. So this is the rough idea about histogram, and on x-axis we take the class intervals, that is the class width, and on y-axis we will take the class frequency. Here the area of rectangle is proportional to class width, and on y-axis we are going to take the frequency, means it is area of rectangle is proportional to class frequency, and the rectangle height is taken as a class width. So here we use the class width. Therefore there are two types, when the class widths are equal, and what to do when the class widths are of unequal size. So the first is, when class widths are equal, then area of rectangle is proportional to frequency. So we can take directly. And when the class width are unequal, means suppose classes are 0 to 5, 5 to 20, then 20 to 30. Here we note that class widths are 5, 15 and 10. So they are unequal. Then we have to take area of rectangle proportional to frequency density, and the formula to calculate frequency density is, we have to take class frequency in numerator, and in the denominator we have to take class width. So on x-axis we are going to take class width, and on y-axis we are going to take the frequencies. So these are the two cases, when class width are equal and when class width are unequal. So we will see one example for that. Suppose we are given a data this is 1 to 20. So these are the classes, and we are given the frequencies, which are so suppose these are the given frequencies, and we have to draw histogram for this data. Then the first step should be, we have to make these classes exclusive type. We can see that here the classes are of inclusive type, means the upper limit is not included in the same class. It is included in the same class. So we have to make these classes of exclusive type. So here we can make by using the class boundaries, that is extended classes. these are the exclusive type classes and these are frequency. Now we are going to draw the histogram. So on x-axis we have to take these classes, they are extended type classes, here 0. And on y-axis we have to take these frequencies. So while drawing we have to consider the lower limit, upper limit, that is the minimum point is 1 and highest point is 38. So we can take according to difference of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 and 40. So this is of our choice. Then we have to draw the histogram. While drawing histogram for the first class, that is 0.5 to 20.5, the class frequency is 12. So approximately this will look like this. Then 38, note that these are of equal proportion with frequency. Then 16 is the next, and then 5, 3 and 1. So this is the histogram for the given data. We can use the scale for perfect measurement and we can draw the histogram perfectly. So this is the type of histogram of when the class width are equal. Here we can see that the class width is 20 for each class. The class width is 20. So that's why we have used the area of rectangle, which is directly proportional to frequency, and we have taken frequencies on y-axis. Let's see one more example. Suppose we are given classes of unequal width, means suppose the classes are suppose these are the classes. Here we can see that these classes are of exclusive type, means upper limit of the class is excluded from that class and included in the next class. And suppose the frequencies are given suppose these are the frequencies and we have to draw the histogram. So we will use the formula, which is area of the rectangle is proportional to the frequency density. Here we have to calculate frequency density and we should take this frequency density on y-axis. So we know its formula, it is class frequency upon class width, and we have learned about what is the class width. So here it is upper limit minus lower limit is the class width for each class. So for the first class it is 5. So 500 divided by this class width 5. So we will get it as 100. Then for the next class the class width is 15 and we will get this 2100 divided by this 15. So it will be 140. Then here the class width is 10, so 220. Here the class width is also 10, then it is 200. Here the class width is 20, so it will be 80. Here the class width is 40, so we will get this 400 divided by 40. so it will be 10. So these are the frequency density, and we have to use this frequency density when we are going to draw the histogram. So let's draw it. So on x-axis we are going to take the classes here, 0 to 5, then 5 to 20, I am not using scale here, but you can use scale to draw perfectly. So on y-axis we have to take frequency density, and we can see that it is minimum 10 and maximum 220. So I will take the difference from 50. So 50, 100, 150, 200 and 250. So you can take this scale as your choice. So for 5 to 20 it is 100, then for 20 to 30, sorry, for 0 to 5 it is 100, and for 5 to 20 it is 140, then it is 220, then 200, then 80, and finally it is 10. So this is the histogram for the given data. Here we can mention on x-axis we are going to take this class width, and on y-axis we are going to take 50 unit per centimeter, and we can give it this title to histogram. So this is all about the histogram. Here we have to note that we can take this class width only, these classes only exclusive type. If they are of inclusive type, we have to make them exclusive by using extended frequencies which are designated by class boundaries. So let's see the new type of graph, that is second, it is frequency polygon. So why we go for frequency polygon? Because histogram will give us the idea about nature of curve. So this is, suppose this is a histogram, then it does not give us the smooth curve or idea about how is the nature of the distribution. So that's why we draw frequency polygon. So there are few steps. So in the first step we have to make the exclusive type classes, if they are given, to be inclusive. Then we have to find the midpoints of each class, and we have to take these midpoint on x-axis, midpoint of classes on x-axis, and then the second is frequency of class on y-axis. So in this way we are going to take on x-axis the midpoints, and on y-axis we have to take the frequencies. Then we will plot these points, and finally we will join these points by straight line. X, Y, and so we have to join these points with a straight line. So roughly the frequency polygon will look like this. So these are the straight lines. So this is the idea how the frequency polygon will look like. So this is the method to draw frequency polygon. We can also draw this frequency polygon by using histogram. So suppose this is the histogram. Then we can make these mid values. So these are the points, and we can join these points with straight line. So this is the frequency polygon by using histogram. So this is another method, and we have to note that we have to complete that frequency polygon by taking 2 more classes. So this is the one more class we can take. So it is succeeding to the last class, and we have to join the midpoint of that class with frequency equal to 0. So in this way we can complete the frequency polygon. So let's see one example. So suppose we are given data, and we are asked to draw the frequency polygon. So these are class and frequency. So it is 0 to 10. So this is the given frequency distribution. Then we have to draw frequency polygon. We can here see that the classes are of equal width and they are of exclusive type classes. So 10, 20. Here we can see the midpoints. Okay, the midpoint for these classes, I will denote it by MI. So midpoint is 5, 15, then 25, 35, 45 and 55. So these are the midpoints. So I will take on x axis, we have to take the midpoints. So it is from 0, 5, and on y-axis we can also take this 10, so here the class frequencies are, so for the point 5, so that is first class, it is 12. So I will denote this point as this. So I have plotted the point. Then for the next class it is 38. Approximately I am drawing the points. You can use scale for better plot. So for the next class it is 16. Then 5. This is 3 and 1. And final step is we have to join these points with a straight line. So this is the frequency polygon, and we can complete this frequency polygon by using 2 more classes. So before this, so we can take this plotted line, and we will add 1 more class, so it will be 65. We are taking the frequency of these 2 extra classes is 0, so that's why I am denoting it by dotted line. So this is the complete frequency polygon. The next, that is third, is frequency curve. So there is a slight difference between frequency polygon and frequency curve. In frequency polygon, we are going to join these points with a straight line. But in drawing the frequency curve, we are going to join these points So procedure is same, only we are going to join these points with a smooth hand, that is with a smooth curve. So it will look like this. So this is called now it is called frequency curve. So these are the some types of graphs to represent the statistical data. So today we have learned the three types, that is histogram, frequency polygon and frequency curve. In the next lecture we will study the stem and leaf chart. Thanks for watching.